Good morning, everyone. It's Teresa Crane with Jeremiah Dreams. How are you guys this morning? Woo, we had a little bit of a last minute change in schedule, and so I am coming to you early this morning. And hopefully, you guys are either getting ready for work or you're just settling in and just need a little bit of distraction and or you're just getting started with your day, just grabbing your coffee and just trying to get with it this morning. Me too, I'm right there with you, but I can think of no better way to get with it than to do a little bit of creating, and that's just my jam. That's what I love. um, and so I want to bring you guys along on this little journey with me on this Dogwood Chapel scene that I'm painting. And yesterday morning, I worked on a white picket fence in this scene. Good morning, Tracy. How are you? I hope you're doing well this morning. I'm doing much better now that I have a cup of coffee going. So, as you join StreamYard, please give them permission to display your name so I can say good morning and so we can have a conversation. Good morning, Winifred. Yes, I am an early bird today. There was a little bit of change in schedule, and so I said I'll be glad to help. Good morning, Bev. How are you today? I am doing good now that I have some coffee in my hands. So, if you joined me yesterday, I put in a white picket fence. Let me go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see up close and personal. Good morning, Tony. How are you, lady? Let me share my screen. And so yesterday we added this white picket fence, and I'm going to do just a little bit more work on this, and then I'm going to start in some climbing roses. To me, having that rose bush that climbs through and meanders through the picket fence is just beautiful. Good morning, Carrie from Texas. Tiffany, good morning to you too from Georgia. Oh, wow. Girl, Bev, you are ahead of me on the coffee. This is my first cup because I got up and got ready and then I got to my coffee. So, let's do a little bit of detail work to make this picket fence just really take on some life. How about that? Good morning, Jane. I am so glad to see you. And Lisa. Oh, thank you so much. I just love that. Thank you so much, Lisa. And Sally, how are you this morning? I am so glad you guys are here and joining me. Y'all just make a girl feel so loved. I'm telling you, just by saying hello, knowing that I'm not here all by myself. All right, you guys. So I'm going to turn this just a little bit so I can get to it a little easier, but I want to be sure you guys can still see what's happening. And I know that it's still going to be hard to see all the fine detail. Y'all really have my camera just like right here. It's like still pretty close. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. Good morning, Lisa. So, what I need to do, I've got laid here. Let me pick it up, bring it a little bit closer to you so you can kind of see some of the detail. So, I have the white based in, I have some shadow going on, but it needs just a little bit more so that it has a little bit more characteristic to it. I guess is probably a good word. So, what I'm thinking is let me show you. I already have on my palette this morning. I've got white, and this is a pale gray. It's very, very light, but that's actually kind of what I used for the shadow here. And then I'm going to mix a little bit of black into that pale gray. Not much. I mean, just a touch. With black, it doesn't take much at all. Black is such a strong color. Let me get this out of the way. So what I like to do, because usually the paint comes right out of the bottle, it's pretty thick. So I put a little bit of water on my paintbrush, and let me show you. I'm just going to just tip the black. Look, even when you have that little bit of black, it makes a big difference. And for what I'm going for, I may need just a little bit more. It's better to add a little at a time than just to go too much and then you're like backtracking. So I just want a little bit darker color than this pale gray. But I like mixing with the same paint because it keeps the tones all in the same family. So I've got a nice point. That's why I kind of twirl the excess off and get a good point going. Good morning, Denise. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you so much. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this darker gray and I'm just going to add some of this color to like the corners. And that's just going to help that really kind of come to life even more. And y'all, if you've ever watched me paint, you know that I usually have to, it takes several sessions. I mean, these paintings are not quick and easy, but to me, they're so worth it because of the detail. All right. So I'm just going through here. And with this being such a fine point, you have to reload your brush quite often. And the nice thing too is if in the painting you do something that you think that doesn't work just right, you can always go back and change it. That's one of the things that I really love about painting is I do find that it has forgiveness in it. And you kind of you have that ability to experiment some, try new techniques, see what works, what doesn't work. And if sometimes if you find that your brush bristles are kind of beginning to spread, all you have to do is just twirl it right back through the paint and you've got a good tip again. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you? I am so glad. Some of you guys I don't think have been with me before, and I am so glad you're here. You guys will have to join me again over on my page and hang out with me. I'm usually on live in the evenings, usually around 8 o'clock Central Time, because I feel like by that time of day, I can be consistent with going live and not have to worry about whether or not my work is running me late or not. But oh, and you guys, today my Paint Create doors are open. And if you would like to learn more about painting techniques and projects to do, come check me out over on my page, and you'll find the information. You'll find the link, and I would love to have you. We just have a wonderful time every month. We paint. I send you everything you need. I don't mean to stutter this morning. I'm so sorry. Good morning, Tammy. You guys are amazing. Y'all just show up. Y'all are the best. I feel like I still don't have my voice yet quite this morning. It's still kind of still asleep. So I may sound a little lower in tone. We sang quite a bit last night in praise team practice, and that always kind of wears the vocal cords out a little bit too. But it's always good. I love it. All right. I will hold this up closer since I get this last little bit on so you can see what a difference this makes. It's just amazing. And I'm going to begin adding in the rose bush. So let me hold this up so that you can see the difference that little bit makes. It just gives it dimension. And to me, that's what it's all about. Now, I'm going to say there's this one line that I put in that I didn't really like where I positioned it. Well, here's the thing. This is what I'm talking about, how painting can be forgiving. I'm not really thrilled with how that turned out right there, so I'm just going to go over it. It's dried now because it was one of the first. So I'm just going to go over it with some white. I just felt like it was in the wrong position for what I was trying to achieve. And we just go right over it. I got a little bit of cleanup I need to do right here. And there we go. All fixed. All done. Okay. Now I want to add in some of the beginning work of this climbing rose bush. Um, and I'm going to use this color. It is called leaf green, which is perfect. So let me get a little bit of that on my palette. And the first part of this is just going to be laying in the framework of the rose bush. Oh, thank you, Miss Tiffany. I am so appreciative, girl. Y'all just know the drill. Y'all know what we need to help tell our friends. And if you're on my page, what I always like for you to do is to tell your friends, but then tell me in the comments that you painted the blessings from and where you're from, because I love seeing where you guys are from. It's just amazing to me. Okay, so I have thinned down this paint and I'm getting a good point going. There's a little bit of excess water right on the barrel of the paintbrush, and I don't want that running down. So this is what I think. I think there is like a base for this rose bush, and I'm going to actually tuck this one in behind the fence. And I'm just going to start adding in some of the branches, and then I'm going to start wrapping some of these around the posts. And some will be on the front side and some will be on the back side, okay? There's my little dog, you guys. And then I'll go back and add some leaves too, but let me show you. Let me get a little bit closer. Here's what I'm thinking. We've just got it intertwining in there. I think that's going to add a lot of interest. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? Miss Cheryl says you are out of camera shot. If you could scoot over a little. Oh, this part, you know what part of my struggle is? This is a very large canvas. Let me see if I can do it this way. Thank you for letting me know. Let me do it this way. Maybe that will help. Sometimes this is a 16 by 20. So just so you can see, this is how large this is. That might help, help you guys get a little bit overall view as well. But thank you for sharing that with me so that I can make adjustments. And because it is so big and with the camera, I try to hold it up closer for you guys to be able to see too. Okay, so I've got this one right here. I'm going to come over this direction and I'm going to add another rose bush, but I'm going to put this one on the front side and for the base, because I'm kind of feeling an alternating approach. And again, some of the branches are going to be on the front side. Some are going to be going around behind, kind of vine-like. And I'm feeling one right here. And rose bushes are they're just kind of everywhere, aren't they? I know I've got rose bushes outside that I need to trim. It's that time of year, and I haven't gotten out there yet to do it. I need to prune them. Let's see. I feel like something needs to be right through here. I'm just going to do that. Let me show you up close how that one's looking. And this is just like the base of it. And then we're going to go back and add the leaves and the roses and really bush it out. But I'm just trying to... Oh, thank you, Winifred. Thank you so much, Denise, for painting the blessings. Oh, Cheryl, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys, I cannot do anything except to give the Lord the glory for my abilities, whatever they are. It is only from Him, and I have to I have to keep all that in perspective. It's just the goodness of the Lord. All right, I'm going over here and I'm putting this rose bush behind the fence. And this one's kind of on the corner too. And adding some curve to these vines, I'm going to call these limbs vines because the way they are twirling around this bush is to add curvature and have them go in different places. Hi, Brenda. Tammy says, you are very talented. Oh, girl, thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Sally. Thank you, girl. Um, you guys will have to come hang out with me over on Jeremiah Dreams sometime. Would love to have you guys. All right, let me show you this one. Let me touch this up right here. Okay. Whoops. See, I knocked over some paint. Let me come up a little bit closer. So you guys see the base there for the rose bushes. Now, let's do this. And here's the thing that I love to do is when I get kind of the base, the midpoint. Good morning, Cheryl. Then I start adding other colors or lights and darks to begin to bring life to these. So now I'm just taking the same green and I'm just going to start adding what would appear to just be like leaves. And honestly, I'm just going to dot these in because these are small details. But I'm going to follow my vines. Because rose bushes are bushy. So we definitely are able to see the stems, but we're going to see more of a bush looking effect. And I don't want these to consume the entire fence. I want to keep the integrity of the fence. Let me hold this up now so you can see. See how we're doing that? We're just dotting in leaves and giving that bush some texture and effect. I've got some more paints that are just in my way. Let me slide these over. Maybe I can slide the canvas over too some more. I love working with larger canvases, but space can sometimes be an issue. And I've actually got a really big canvas I've got to do, and I think I'm going to have to go to my dining room table. I want to add, let me just bring out this base of this rose bush a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to just drop in some leaves on this one. So when I started this piece, I was talking about how I just love dogwoods. And there's a lady up the highway that she has a dogwood that has both pink and white blooms. And I guess they were two trees that were in the same hole, maybe. I don't know, but you guys, it is just gorgeous. So I wanted to put a tree like that in this. And that's what this dogwood is a mixture. Okay, let me put some leaves on this one. Then we're going to start adding some roses. And I'm thinking I'm going to do some red. But y'all, I love yellow roses too. And I believe you can get a yellow climbing rose. So I think that would be realistic. Just dotting in these leaves. Okay, let me hold this up. So you guys see, whoops, I got to find where my camera is. Y'all, Me and technology sometimes do not jihad. So hopefully y'all can kind of see what's going on there. Now I'm going to add some roses. So let me get some red going. There's Miss Frances. How are you? Good morning. All right. Where is my red? Oh, it's right here. I had to move it. That's what happens when I move things on myself. All right. Now, again, because got to grab some coffee. Hold on. Okay. So let me this will probably be okay. I'm not going to thin this down. I think it's going to be fine. So let me dot in some roses. And again, this is just doing a series of dots because the detail is so small that you don't have to get so caught up in what is the rose shape like, because it's more of a distance kind of thing. You just basically, your mind's eye is just basically going to see color. So that's what we're popping in. And I love rose bushes that are full of blooms. Some little roses. And then I'm thinking about too, where are the roses kind of overhanging? And I think that there's some definitely hanging on the white. Now, I also want to keep in mind that there's probably just some little buds. Let me just add some little buds in here. Okay, let me hold this up so you can see. So there's my red flowers, my red roses. And then I'm going to add some red roses on this bush, but I'm going to put yellow on this middle one. Make sure y'all can still see where I'm at. So I hope you guys did not experience severe weather last night. I think that maybe, I know there were some tornadoes in some areas, and I know it wasn't it down in Mississippi, maybe some in Alabama. And we definitely want to keep those people in our prayers. Good morning, Teresa. Miss Frances says, y'all, I'm going to share your comments because bring them up on the screen because this is also being put on YouTube. I do have some followers there, and they're probably thinking, who are you talking to? So Miss Frances says, my husband's grandmother used the word jihad. That's hilarious. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Winifred says, I have a red teacup. Oh, how pretty. How pretty. Oh, I love that. Do y'all remember the days, y'all, I'm showing my age here, of, oh, what was that show that used to come on Saturday nights? My parents, Hee Haw. Oh my goodness, my parents had that on every Saturday night. And I think about that show when I, with the word jihad. Oh my goodness, so funny. Well, I'm glad I could bring back some memories. So funny. My stepmother is quite the rosebush person. My dad, helps with the pruning and stuff, but she loves roses of all kinds. And she used to have quite the garden. They don't have as many roses now. Their health is not as good. And um, and some have died over time and this, that, and another. Just going back and adding a few little buds here. I'm going to hold this up so you can see. And there's even going to be some things. Once I get these roses placed, I'm going to go back and add some depth in the green so that it kind of has a life of its own too. So that's how that's coming together. I like that. I'm pleased with how that's turning out. Okay, let me get some yellow. This is that dandelion yellow. It's the same yellow that I have in the stained glass windows. So let's add, and I love because these are bright. Let me twirl. I got too much paint on my brush. Hold on. Just going to dot these babies in. And when I add the depth, the darker green to this bush, that's going to help some of these other roses to pop also. Let me get some of this little paint right here. It's just got a little bit too much on it. Oh, this looks pretty, you guys. I love when you see roses having different colors side by side. They just seem to enhance one another when you have that happening. Y'all have got to see this up close. Let me hold this up. We're almost out of time anyway. Let me turn it. Can you see? Oh, I just love this. Just love this. Wonder how much time I can get. Maybe I've got just enough that I can show you what I'm talking about and adding some depth in the screen. I want to touch some black and bring it over here to this screen. I need to add a little bit of water, thin it down. And then I'm going to go, it's kind of making a gray green, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. Twirl off the excess. And then in some of these places, I'm going to add just touches of this darker green that's just going to give it some depth. And then I'll also go back and add a lighter version to add more interest and more characteristic, as if light is reflecting or catching some different tones. But all these colors together make a beautiful piece. But you've got to have the very colors to get that interest going. And it's not a drastic change, but that little bit will make a big difference. And I'll tell you, let me try just adding just a touch of black in there too, because of shadow. There's going to be some shadow in there. Let me hold this up before we go because we got 30 seconds. So maybe you can kind of see, probably the camera's going to get fuzzy, the difference that those darker colors make in bringing that to life. Cheryl says, absolutely beautiful. Donna says, so pretty. Thank you, guys. Francis, I really love love this. Oh, thank you, Francis. Church picnics. Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. Jane says it's good. Thank you all. Y'all are so sweet. I just love you guys. Well, y'all, I am out of time. I am out of time. Please, please join me, Miss Francis. Oh, all right, you guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for being with me this morning. Come visit with me over on Jeremiah Dreams. Have a great day. I love you guys. Bye.